How's it going, everybody? Wherever you listen to this podcast right here, this is episode 115 of the TempahZone podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another one. My special guest here today, y'all, is a very dope rapper right here, okay? Somebody whose music really captivated me because he was rapping about some other shit, you know what I'm saying? Something that just I thought stood outside of what's going on in the regular scene, and, you know, we need more of that in this game. There's a lot of copycats, a lot of people who are trying to be like somebody else. That's not cool. Be yourself, y'all. And this artist right here is somebody who, from rip, got my attention. Not even just with his rap name, but obviously with his sound. He's the demon that turned rapper and family, man. I got Demon's Disciple with me. Yo, Demons, what's good, bro? What's good, man?
Chilling. You know. How you doing, man?
Bro, I'm doing fantastic, dog. I can't complain. Another day of life, you know what I'm saying? Every day's a blessing. So that's the vibe I'm on now, man. And I mean that sincerely. So that's the way I go about it, man. Before I get into all these questions, man, you know, you're someone that has struck me as just very cool-mannered and chill, and just, you know, seems to go about things in a very calm, cool, collected way. I'm trying to do that myself, man. What does it take to get to that point in your life where you hit things in a chill way? It's probably a lot more complicated than just breathing in, breathing out, huh?
Man, therapy.
Bam! There we go. Tell them, man, straight up. People don't want to hear that,
therapy.
But
yeah. It's just like you said, man. People don't like to hear it, but
they really don't. They hate that answer so much.
People are like, yo, what's the easy way? What's the fix? What's the book you read? What's the this? What's the that? And I'm like, I've been in therapy since I was like 7.
Wow.
And I'm 27. So let that sink in.
Dude, you want to hear something crazy, man? I didn't start going to therapy until I was 23. I could have used that shit when I was 7, bro. Like this name of the podcast is called TempahZone because I've always dealt with my anger issues, and like I found ways to channel them into like a zone. Literally, TempahZone is the name of the podcast because it's literally a way of talking about how I try to, contain that. And so it's funny that you mentioned just therapy being that thing. And I'm really glad we're starting off the podcast with you saying that because there's a lot of people overlook it, and it's such a simple thing to just go and talk to somebody and just, pay that money. I think it's the money. I think a lot of times I hear people say, I don't want to pay the money. But what would you say to that? What would you say to someone who wouldn't want to pay the money?
2 things. One, there's options without paying a lot of money. A lot of options, like a laundry list of options now. They even have therapy online.
Yeah, Talkspace, BetterHelp. Those are the them podcasts be running up them ads. Yo, BetterHelp, Talkspace. I need some ads on this, bro. Hit me up.
Hook it up.
I do therapy all the time. Come on. Well, yeah, what's the second reason? Is there?
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Because you'll end up spending more money in the long run in other ways, like coping with shopping or losing your job, or even if, like, I don't wish this upon anyone, but dying early from even just stress, just constant stress. And all of a sudden you're passing away in your mid 50s when you could have made it to 70, 80. You know what I mean? It's worth the investment, Absolutely worth the investment. Your life is worth the investment.
Exactly, bro. People be lifting 6-7 times a week, but they ain't never seen a therapist. It's like you care about your muscles, but you don't care about your brain. It's like
you don't gotta be mentally ill to need therapy.
No, that's the other thing. You don't have to be out of your mind, batshit crazy to get therapy. It's like you could be anybody. Like if life's going great, you should probably see a therapist because it's just a checkup. It's just a checkup.
What happens when it starts going bad? What you gonna do?
Exactly, and that's the worst time to go because there's just all this stuff to unpack and let loose. It's like do it when you can. Do it when it's like just I'm gonna just do it, and then it's one of those things. And one thing I just have to mention, bro, like all the people I know who went to therapy young are all white. I don't know any black people who went to therapy from a young age, and I gotta stress this enough to all my black listeners. It just seems to be a thing that's frowned upon amongst, at least in my Caribbean household. I mean, ain't nobody older, the age of my age has gone to therapy, and from what I've seen. So that's one thing I want to stress enough. I just have to mention that, but everybody gotta go to therapy. Everybody needs it. People tell you to worry about your physical health, but your mental health is just as important, if not more.
Right. Health is health. Health is health.
Health is health. Health is wealth. All that stuff, man. So I just wanted to get that off. But yeah, man, I just had to ask you about that because that was just something that I think is a very cool quality of yours, and something to address. Because your name, Demon's Disciple, sounds like you might be more aggressive, more rugged, and like I break shit. But it's not the case.
I mean, I can get rugged.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever seen Packages Live? We get rugged.
I know, yeah. I mean, yeah, Packages definitely goes hard. That's definitely a song where I can hear. That's where you let that shit out, man. But I gotta ask you though, the name Demon's Disciple, like what made you decide to go with that rap name? Because it's a very bold one.
All right, so this is the thing. Where it came from and why it became my rap name are two totally different things.
I like where this is going already.
Where it came from was when I needed an Instagram handle way before I wanted to be a rapper, and I just needed an Instagram handle. I was like, what sounds cool? Yo, Demon's Disciple. It was really that simple. Yeah. My brain just thought of it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I remember I was walking through a field with my ex, and I never had Instagram. She was like, you need to make an Instagram. I was like, all right. I made it, and I was like, Demon's Disciple.
Bam.
Then when it came to being a hip hop artist, I had like 30 names picked out. And I'm like, I was like going through them, making new lists. And then I like did this weird moment where I'm like, all right, think about it. Why did you say Demon's Disciple? Like, where'd that come from? And I realized at the time that I had picked out Demon's Disciple, it was the first time I ever tried to stop using drugs. Oh. And Demon's Disciple is like, I am a disciple to my demons. I felt like I was taught and raised by the demons that I was cursed with. And when I decided my hip hop was going to be focused on addiction, mental health, mostly, I was like, what a better suiting name.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, man. No, that's cool. I had a feeling it was that, but I had to ask. I had to ask. You hear people say a lot nowadays, I'm battling my demons. I'm fighting my demons. What do you think when people say that? Because it seems to be a common thing that people say. I know people find it corny. I know some people get it, but
I like it, but it's definitely overused.
It's so overused. Yeah.
I always liked that phrase, but people be using it when they're just talking about when I want to fight someone and they're trying not to fight someone, they'll be like, oh, I'm battling my demons. And I'm like, maybe if you're always getting yourself arrested, maybe that is your demon, but you'll have people that never been in a fist fight in their life saying that. And I'm like, yeah, you really find a demon right now?
I don't think you got a demon there.
Right. I think you're scared to fight, if anything. You're saying the first thing that you think sounds intimidating. But I mean, when I hear someone say they're fighting their demons and they genuinely mean that shit, you can tell. Because
I know, that's
so a look, you know what I mean? And I'm like, there's some shit going on right there, you know what I mean? And I think the important thing is we don't know what people are battling too. So it's we could also pass judgment. Turns out that person is dealing with everything under the sun all at once, you know what I mean? So it's never really know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I definitely had to ask you that because I was seeing a bunch of people post that.
I see it a lot.
And tweeting it, and it's I saw someone tweet, I think it was the account Corn, he was like, you ain't battling demons, you just regret your past mistakes.
I mean, you ain't wrong probably to a degree.
One way to put it, yeah. But it's people going through some real shit that they would never, ever mention to people. And, that's one of the scary things about just mental health in general. And back to the therapy thing, why you should go see a therapist, because so many people are just battling these demons behind the scenes, and when you meet them in person, they're all la-di-da-di-da. So it can definitely be a concerning thing, and I feel like with the stuff that you've had to deal with, just overall, probably was a good outlet for you to go to music. You know, music's a very therapeutic thing. When did you get started making it?
Young.
Damn,
I just wasn't ever good.
Oh, okay.
You know, I never really tried to be true. I tried to copy. So I started when I was, God, how young was I? It was like 6 when I started trying to do hip hop. It was like the first time I heard Eminem. 50 Cent had just come out, and I got Get Rich or Die Trying, and I was like, ooh, I want to sound just like this guy. This is the epitome of a badass right here.
You bought a wife beater, a do-rag. No, I'm playing.
I never did the do-rag because I was
Good.
I was smart enough to know that was pushing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like,
but I always did this.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's close enough.
You know what I mean? So I was like, that's enough. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I remember that's where it started, and then I went through a really long, like heavy metal, like all different types of metal, but mainly metalcore phase. And so I was doing screaming for a grip, and I tried to start a screaming band with a friend. I think we did 2 practices, and none of us knew what we were doing or were willing to try to listen to the other one, and so that's why there were 2 practices in total.
Yeah. That was a grand opening, grand closing with that band.
Right. But I did a lot of poetry for the long, like for 15 years. I did poetry, and in like 8th grade, I got one of them published, and I don't even know where it went because I was already getting high. So like, I don't know where this poem was published. I just know it was published because I remember getting honored and my parents coming to the school and reading it in front of everyone. But I don't remember where it got published. So
wow. So it's just out there somewhere, huh?
It's out there. It was someday I'll find it, and that'll be a really cool day. So
yeah, I think it'll eventually come back around because I think it's always dope to look at your past work. I know some people don't like to, but I think sometimes it's a good way to just reflect on where you came from, man. I think a lot of times artists are so focused on what's next, but sometimes if you've been doing it for a while, like you have, you gotta look back at what you've done because it can humble you, it can ground you, it just does a lot for you that I don't think much can when you look at your past work, look at yourself doing something. I do know some people that makes them sad as hell though. It's like I was better. They start judging themselves like, oh, like I was better then. It's like, I don't know. Like you're probably better now.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you've been doing it for like 10 years now, so you're probably better, right?
You would hope so. Yeah, you would hope. Yeah, but you know how artists can be just very picky and judgmental on themselves. And
we're all the same like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why just, most artists I meet, we always get along because there's always that understanding of the artist mentality. It's like we are. Like Erykah Badu said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit,
Yeah.
And it's just how it always will go. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive. Just don't be too sensitive.
Right.
Yeah. Just
be sensitive, but keep pushing yourself forward.
Exactly. Yeah. Find a way to make it happen. So when I was looking at your catalog, I saw that in 2020 was when the music was on all streaming platforms. From what I saw, around that year, what was the pushing factor that made you say we're about to go in on this?
I released my first track when I hit a year sober.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
man. And just how long have you been sober?
Tomorrow makes 3 years.
Tomorrow makes 3 years, man. Congratulations, dog.
Thank you.
Nah, that ain't no easy feat, man.
No. Not even like a little bit. Nah.
Yeah, man. And not to divert it from you, but I have stopped smoking weed, and I'm like, wow, like if I'm thinking great, feeling great. It's only been like a month and a half, but like 3 years, and I don't know what you were doing, but god dang, man, like that, the willpower. Like, was it you that made you do it? Was somebody by you? What did it take to push that, man?
So it was me. I had people that supported me, but no one even knew I was using at the time. Like people thought I was still sober from my last stint going to treatment. And I've been using for a whole, God, I don't even know. It got broken up so many times. You know what I mean?
Hard to keep track, yeah.
But I was using and no one knew. And it took me waking up and being like, it got to the point where I was waking up every 2 to 3 hours, even like throughout the night to wake up and use, because I started to go into withdrawals every like 3 hours. So it was this cycle of continuing that I woke up one day and I was like, all right, I'm going to not use. And I almost died trying to detox myself. And my wife had to call an ambulance and she's like, I don't know what's going on. And the ambulance got there and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm detoxing. And it was terrible.
Oh my God.
It was terrible. And I had a lot of people that ended up supporting me once I decided to make that decision. But that choice, the follow through, the finding treatment, the going to treatment, that was all me.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of times in those situations, like only you can be the one that says, I gotta do something about this. And no matter how many people you got around you, how many loved ones you have, at the end of the day, like it takes that inner self to be like, enough is enough. And man, I am just so, I'm grateful that you overcame it, because you know I never knew you before.
I was an asshole, dude. I was
laughing at holy shit, yeah. I just can't imagine it. Like I see you and it was like yo, like you're such a cool dude, man.
You couldn't rely on me for anything. I lied about everything. I was super rude, super aggressive, could still make you laugh, but if you laugh too hard, I'd want to fight you. So it's like, is he all that funny?
Yeah.
I was a douche. A douche. I'll say it proudly because I like who I am now.
Well, yeah, I mean? For sure.
But I was an asshole.
Yeah, no.
Through and through.
The self-awareness to realize that too, yo. I think more people, self-awareness can be, too much of anything's bad, but man, having self-awareness is just one of the best things you can have, and maturity will do that to you. To realize who you are. You getting sober though, like how much did the productivity go up, would you say?
It's not even comparable.
Yeah.
Apples and oranges. Like when I was using, I hadn't even started recording yet.
Yeah.
And I blew opportunities. Like genuine, real opportunities. I had 2 different producers who heard me spit some shit, that knew me through a friend, that were willing to work with me if I went out to Cali and I had the money to go out and do it, and I drank it all away.
Damn.
And had to call them and be like, my fault, a family emergency came up, give me 2 more months. Then I smoked it all away. And then I'm like, yeah, my bad, I don't even know what to say. And then I started doing these battles in Worcester where you could win like a shit ton of weed. And I was like, oh, this would be fucking dope. And then I got way too drunk every time and forgot my line, forgot every song, went to one that I thought was supposed to be off the dome. And it was not supposed to be off the dome. You were supposed to be prepared, because I was like shitted. And like, that was before I even recorded shit.
Yeah.
So it's like now in the last 2 years, I got this whole album done. Like 7 or 8 tracks didn't even make it onto the album. I've done a music video, over 30 shows, met tons of fucking people. It just keeps going.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's like you had to find that new high, and that high is the music, working, performing. It takes so much to realize like working is fun. And how do I find work that is like not work? That's like really like everyone's goal in life is like, how do I stay productive without feeling like such a burden on me? And I think it takes just a lot of going through bullshit to realize that. Most not many people figure that shit out at 2021. And shout out to the people that do, because
for real,
I definitely did not.
No, part of it I think was when I was 18, I found I was going to have a kid, so I had to get a job that paid the bills. So I went into sales, and
good old sales.
Right, good old sales. And I did that for years and years and years, not even realizing how much working in sales was like fueling my addiction. Like the stress from it, the expectations,
A lot of people use in that job.
The fact that it's totally acceptable at work to use. Like I had bosses giving me cocaine. I had bosses getting me drunk. I had one boss when I got sober who kept trying to get me to smoke crack at work. Yeah.
That is
who ended up getting arrested for robbing the store for her to fuel her own crack addiction.
That's so fucked up, man.
Yep. Yep.
I don't even know what to say. There's some cold people out here like, what is wrong with you?
Like, yeah. Hey, man, if you got a problem yourself, I'm not judging whatsoever, but don't be trying to get someone who's trying to do the right thing to use. That ain't right. You know
and
that just ain't right.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But karma came around for her ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes karma will come around and take care of the people who deserve it.
But yeah, man, sales. So once I got out of sales, I realized that like how much that profession was like fueling my addiction. So that was a weird moment too, because I just always done it because it just always paid the bills and I was good at it. So it was weird when I stepped out and I was like, oh shit, that was part of the problem. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, realized that was contributing to it, man. And you know, one thing I gotta say about alcohol, we live in a society that just like so normalizes it.
Right.
And people just like, I think sometimes, I do feel that people realize just how like detrimental alcohol is. But to a point, like the one that always blows my mind is if you drink more than 7 drinks a week, you're considered an alcoholic. When I told people that, my friends were like, "Don't ever say that shit again."
This is the
that
thing.
Shit in the night.
I remember in rehab, they gave us a list, right? And they were like, if you check off, it was like more than like 3 things you're an alcoholic and more than 5 you're a severe thing. And there's 13 things, and I was all 13.
It's bad. Right? It's like, it's crazy.
I know I was a really bad alcoholic, so I guess that doesn't necessarily surprise me, but I'm looking at this list and I'm like, but you could check off 3 things in one night. And it could have just been one night of drinking that you did these 3 things, and it doesn't make you an alcoholic. I was like, you know what makes you an alcoholic? If you have a problem with drinking. I don't think there's a scientific way for us to necessarily look at a single person and say, this is what makes you. And because like,
everyone's built different, like for sure.
If you're drinking every day, it's probably not necessarily a good thing, but I'm not going to judge, you know what I'm saying? Because like someone who has 1 drink a night, it's not like you're killing yourself or anything like that. But it's when that 1 drink a night is becoming a problem though. Like when you're like, oh, you know what? I don't want that drink tonight. And you're like, oh shit, why am I still having this drink tonight? Then there's a problem. But if you're like, I don't need to drink, I don't want to drink, then hey, I think it's different for everybody. I think that's part of the problem. Is
so different for everyone.
Is everyone's just so built different.
Yeah, I've been trying to be aware of how I am, and I keep it real with my friends. Like I'm not drinking hard liquor, guys. All right, I'm having beer only. Get that? Don't do that. Like I keep it very aware because I hang around some friends that can drink. So I gotta make it very clear before I end up blacking out. I hate blacking out. That shit is the worst. I despise that. The fact people say, I'm gonna drink till I black out tonight in college. I never was that person. The first time I ever blacked out, I never wanted to black out again. I was 18 years old, and I made a dumb decision. Like, I was just so super drunk. You know, nothing bad, but just a dumb, just acting stupid. Everyone's been there. But it's just like, the culture in society, the way we talk about alcohol, like somebody needs to somebody needs to say like, hey, like, I don't always say drink responsibly and all these ads, but like they need to say that shit like 3 more times.
Because we're not a society built around drinking responsibly.
No, we're not like Europe.
It's such a minority of people that drink responsibly.
That's so true. Yeah.
Like even just staying hydrated is part of drinking responsibly.
Oh, ain't nobody drinking water in between every drink. I ain't never.
Are you kidding?
You get made fun of for that shit because I've done that before. Like that's when I used to smoke weed because like I definitely needed some water when I was drinking.
Mhm.
But like even then, like whenever like you order water, not anymore, but definitely in college, you're like, you drinking a water, Amir? You pussy? Like it's like, yo, man, I'm thirsty. Like what
I'm
the hell?
thirsty. What's wrong with water?
I've had
So when
7
the last
beers.
time you had water? I don't know, like a year ago. It's like that's
Yeah.
a problem. Like
Yeah. It's like, you ever heard of kidney stones? Like it happens when you get older. I know, I mean, we're still young enough where it doesn't happen, but like this is real life shit. Like I'm not trying to go through a messed up thing in order to be like, all right, let me chill.
right.
But those
Trying to get
times be the
prepared.
best way to learn your lessons. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta go through the ringer, you know. But yeah, I definitely I don't want to touch too long on the topic of alcohol because that's a whole nother thing we could get into. And I understand that what you've gone through in and being 3 years sober, coming tomorrow. I gotta just clap for you once again, dog.
Thanks, man.
Not an easy feat. A lot of people just have a lot of discipline in their lives anyway. And I think discipline is a great thing. I think a lot of times that's another thing you gotta learn when you're older. Discipline's good. Having structure is good. Having boundaries is good. And I think sometimes people look past that and just, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Nah, don't do that.
Until it's just not even fun.
Yeah, you gotta stand on some shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's just definitely one of the things I feel, man. In terms of the music though, in this game, now that you are fully focused on top of your shit, what are some of the things that you've had to deal with now that you are focused in the way you are?
As far as like music goes,
Yeah, as far as music goes, I'd say, yeah.
Balancing it with my family
Mm.
is like one of the hardest parts of it because I'd be going every day to either the studio or to a show if I didn't have 2 kids and a wife. You know what I mean? Balancing
It
that.
seems like you already do that now. You're going to every show and
I try,
you know
man.
what I mean?
I try. Like I'll wait till the kids go to bed and then go work on music or go to a show or like if I'm going to a show right after work and I don't see the kids and the next day pick them up early and try to spend extra time, like do what I can. You know, I have my oldest only on the weekend, so that's what makes it really hard to balance. But I do my best to make it work. But I think one of the hardest parts about that I've had to encounter with the music industry is the fact that I don't have any type of connection, socially speaking. I had to redo my life completely, which involved cutting ties to like everybody, not in like
I
some
always forget
toxic
that part.
way.
Yeah, no,
You know what I
I
mean?
can't hang around you anymore, guys. Like I'm a new person. I'm sorry.
Right. You know, and for some people, it was a matter of self-growth. It was a matter of betrayal. It was a matter of even just safety purposes for a lot of people. But I literally don't have connections to my past other than family. But that doesn't help me musically speaking. So a lot of people I know ended up growing up into the music industry or owning stores or owning these or doing this, doing that could have benefited me, but I can't associate with this specific person anymore. So a lot of people, when you talk to them, it's like, oh, how do you know so-and-so? Oh, I've known them for years, blah, blah, blah. Or I've known them for this and that. And they're like, oh, how do you know Demons? Like, oh, I just met him like a month ago. You know what I mean? Like, he's a really good guy, but I don't have that repertoire built with people yet. So now that I've been doing stuff with bars for the last about year and a half now, I'm starting to have that kind of reputation a little bit more.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I didn't even think about when you become sober, when you have a life change, so drastic, dramatic, whatever word you want to put there. Yeah, you gotta cut off people. You gotta take out the scissors and say peace out, because I can't be around that no more. And that could even be on the base of just like anything. It's like hang around negative people, toxic people. You gotta cut people off. And man, that must have been difficult. Like none of your friends from like 6-7 years ago you hang out with. Damn, man. I mean, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. And I mean, the brain stopped developing at 25. And it's funny how like I feel like meeting new people at this age is a good thing anyway. Like we should meet new people at this age. Like we
Yeah.
understand ourselves better anyway. So regardless of the restart or whatever, it's good to meet new people, man. And shout out to Bars Over Bars, man. That's how I met you. And
Yep.
Vincent Tesoro, who I had on, for the first episode back coming on, so it's this music.
Shout out Vinny, that's the boy.
Yeah, shout out Vinny, man, good people right there, and this music is a camaraderie. It's brings the people together, and I definitely love that it's done this for you, man. It's a beautiful thing, music.
It's a facts, man.
Yeah, just simply put. But yo, man, I definitely want to ask you just about this debut album that you're dropping. I Just Want to Be Seen, and I could ask you about that title, and eventually you can break it down. But what made you decide that now is the time to drop an album? What was the deciding factor for that?
My original goal was at 1 year sober, drop my first song. At 2 years sober, drop an album, which didn't work.
That, man, I'm so stupid. I should have saw it.
I couldn't get it done at 2 years, which that's fine. You know what I mean? And so year 3,
I feel bad asking. I should have seen it. I was like thinking about
you're good though.
No, I'm playing. I'm just exaggerating. But yeah, man, no, that's freaking dope. Like to line it up with that. Like I've always tried to line shit up with like certain events in my life, and it's only worked one time. But like it's good when you have something sentimental to put your album behind. I think it makes you push it harder. The feeling of this album finally dropping. We're recording this not 3.5 hours before it drops. So
yeah.
What's that feeling like right now, man? How are you feeling right now about
I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Everything's just hitting you.
I'm excited. That's all there is to it.
It's a good feeling, bro. It's such a good feeling when you have a project coming out and the people are gonna share it, support it, and bump it. So yeah, that's really a good feeling, man. Talk about the title, man. I Just Want to Be Seen. That's some like just off of that. I mean I was gonna listen to it regardless, but that's an album title is so important. So what made you decide to go with that?
The thing I like about my own album title is that the more I thought about it, the more layers I saw to it. Because kind of like any type of what's I'm looking for, self-exploring, you find more and more layers. So it's like I was kind of exploring the title and I was like, oh my God, there's more and more layers to this. So originally I chose I Just Want to Be Seen because the concept of the album is about the story of a little bit of my childhood, mostly my addiction, getting sober and stuff like that. But my addiction is tied so heavily into my childhood. And I remember that there was always this like constant theme when I was a kid of like, I just want to be seen. Like, I just want to be seen as something other than the bipolar kid, the mentally ill child, the kid with addiction. I just want to be seen as me. I just want to be seen as who I am. And that was the original reason for picking it. But I'm also realizing now is I just want to be seen as the person I am now. I just want to be seen as a sober, calm-minded individual rather than walking, talking chaos. You know what I mean? I could keep going. There's so many layers to it. It's
I can imagine, bro. Yeah, I mean,
one of those things.
Yeah, no, it's a great title, and you at the age that you are now, I think evaluate everything, and it sounded very, very, very clear to you that that's the right title to go with. And I think that's just really cool, man. I'm very, very happy for you to see this and coming to fruition. It's happening, man. It's really happening. So I think that's really cool. As I look at this track list here, man, a couple of these songs are already out, including Aim on E. Really like this one, man. How did that one come about?
That one is a shout out to everyone that ever did me dirty. I'm pretty good at letting a lot of shit go.
You don't seem like the spiteful, vengeful type.
I'm not. There's just a few individuals who did me dirty in specific ways that I'm still and I'm even able to recognize this is my own character flaw that I'm still working on letting these go even years down the line, but it is what it is. And they got a song. Plain and simple, they got their song. You know, you want to do me dirty, you get a song.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, you're a rapper, bro. Sometimes you gotta get vengeful with it. I think that's just part of this genre. Sometimes
It's a little grimy.
just just
A little bit.
a little sprinkle of it, just to let them know, like I'm tough. Like I've been through shit. Let me let you know how I feel, and I really love that aspect of it, man. I'm looking at the features on here. I see we got Hero the MC and Sean Mike's on here twice. That's really dope. You also got me on there. I really appreciate you for hitting me up for this project, man. And even if you didn't hit me up for this project, I still would have had you on. So I just want to make that very clear to anyone listening.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just letting it be known, man, because
You're gonna see a trend, huh? You know,
right.
Every guest has an Amir Max.
Yeah, right. I figured that note because, like, I had video on it. I'm like, oh shit, I had a song with him too. It's like, that's not why, I swear. So that's a very funny thing I wanted to point out. But I definitely want to ask you about Serial Killer because I did hear a snippet of that. That's not out yet, right?
No,
that's not. But I did hear a snippet of it. I do remember meeting y'all the day you recorded it. But what made you decide to get Hero and Sean Mike's on this one?
Improv.
Damn, that's cool. Yeah.
Originally, it was the first person I asked was Easty from Mass Made.
Okay, yeah.
But he was very busy, which that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because we all get busy, so it's all love for Easty. I love that dude. Honestly, he kills me every time I see him. Yeah. He's always good for a laugh. I love him. So then I was like, I'm like thinking in my brain, because the Serial Killer came about just kind of chilling in my kitchen, listening to beats. You know, I was just like, listen to this West Coasty vibe, you know what I mean? And then I heard that like hook come and I was just like, and then Serial Killer started coming and I was like, ooh, this is nice, you know? I'm like, who would be like a Boston heavy artist who would sound great on a West Coast beat? And I was like, I'm going to hit up Hero.
Yeah, good call.
So I was like, Hero. I asked Easty, he's busy. What's up? You ready to fill in? He was like, yup. And then we were recording at this. Oh no. And then I hit up Sean. I'm like, yo, me and Hero, we're going to come through and record this thing. And he's like, let me jump on it. And I was like, bet, write something. And then there you go. You know, it was as simple as that.
Yeah, man, those are great artists right there. You know, I've known Sean for a while now. I know he's been doing it for a while, and obviously Hero started Bars Over Bars. You know, Beast of a Rapper. You know, those guys are great features, man. So I'm looking forward to hearing this project. That song, the final version of it, and just bumping that. I mean, you know, come midnight, it'll be time for that, man. And continue looking on this project list, man, and I gotta ask you about this outro here, man. School lunches. What made you decide to go with this as the outro for the project? I always like the songs artists choose for outros. So why this one?
School lunches felt right in every sense. I mean, first of all, it's the people's song. You know what I mean? Everyone loves School Lunches, dude.
They really love that song live, man. It's a good one live, for sure. You
know, I could have a trash set and people could be sleeping. And then the second I'm like, all right, it's time for school lunch. Everyone perk up and they're like, oh, it's school lunches time. Let's do this, you know?
Yeah.
But I think the main reason that realistically I went with School Lunches last, though, is like, that's where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? That's the current point of who I am. So it's like, this is kind of a storytelling album. So it made sense to leave it at the nearest point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I think, you having kids and letting it be known, like in your bio, you're a family man. Like this is the life you live now. Your priorities are set to such a degree. And I think just naming the project that, this is the last song on the project that is just something like to let it be known who Demon's Disciple is. I really like to see that, man. How long did it take you to put together this project, though? You mean you got 11 songs on here, man? That's a lot. That's a lot of songs.
Oh man, it was realistically, because some of these tracks were recorded prior. The album itself took about 4 months.
Not bad.
But I mean, it took technically 2 years.
Oh yeah, so
it was like
that's the real answer.
It was like 4 months ago is when I decided like I'm gonna do an album, You know what I mean? Because I had done school lunches, I had done packages, I had
Gotcha.
done A Money,
Yep.
and I released them as singles. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do an album. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do an album. And then I was like, how many songs I want? And originally it was like 5, and I wasn't gonna put school lunches and packages on it. Then it turned into 13, and I was like 15, and then I landed on 11 and called it a day. And I was like, let's stick with 11 and make this work. You know what I mean?
So do you got some songs right now that are finished that you're not putting on the album?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I got one with Vinny actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. That's dope. That's dope. Is there a reason why I got taken off? It's just because like it didn't fit like a theme. You want to save it for another time.
It's a very, very good song, and it didn't fit the theme, which is, like you said, which is why I didn't want it on there, because it felt almost like I'd be taking away from that particular song's potential.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think it would hit the same, because it would seem out of place, and it would be like, what's this? I feel like people would listen to it, be like, what's this really good song doing that doesn't make any sense being part of this project?
Yeah.
So I want to save it and possibly do a side project with Vinny, which I haven't run by him yet. And he's a very busy guy. So there's a good chance that won't fall through. So don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, man. I think it can be tough to like cut off the songs that you want to put on the project. Like, but sometimes it's like pretty easy to be like, yeah, like this just doesn't fit. Like we can't have it on there. And a lot of times artists were antsy. We want to just put it out, but you got to make those smart decisions and drop something cohesive at the end of the day. So I definitely think that was, a good approach on your end, man. And I just really think that's just cool to see, yo. Is there a song on the project that's your favorite right now?
I love Serial Killer. I drive around bumping it all the time.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Is there a song on this project that's a tearjerker, a sad one that people is gonna, really get the emotions going? Do you have a song on this project? Because I can just tell with the way it's structured and everything about it, it looks like you got one on there like that.
It's either gonna be Prisoner or OG.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow. Damn.
I think Prisoner isn't what some people consider a tearjerker.
Yeah,
but I think for the people that it hits, it's gonna hit. You know what I mean? Like for people that's the topic that's gonna hit them. That's a topic that hits you hard when it does.
Yeah, bro. When you sent me Prisoner, I was like, oh shit, like I didn't know. I was like, that's when I just like, man, I gotta know more about demons, bro. Like, what's like, I just didn't know. I mean, like, I'm listening to this and I'm just like, and I gotta say, man, I truly appreciate you hitting me up for this because you pushed me to talk about things on this song I've never discussed before. Like, I'm not gonna get into detail on it. Y'all listen to it and you decide yourself on what I'm talking about. Because I don't like to explain my lyrics on my own podcast. I'll be honest with you. But
that's fair.
I just don't. It's just a little weird to me. But like, you pushed me, man. You really did to talk my shit. And I think that's just a sign of a great artist, bro. When it makes another artist go, man, I gotta take it to that level. So yeah, man. Really, really happy you hit me up for this one. And I'm looking forward to OG. That's the fact that that's the intro. And that title have just already got me going, man. So I'm really looking forward to that, though. When you drop music on a Friday, and there's all the other big releases, do you ever worry that like a super big artist or too many big artists are gonna drop on this day?
Man, there's so much shit coming out.
Because September 30th, there's like some big releases. I was thinking about that for you.
I got Kid Cudi. I got Kid Cudi's documentary about his album. We even got David Wright and Jeff Porter.
Yeah, they're dropping too.
Man, there's so much shit. But in the end of the day, and this is one of those things that I think this is honestly not even toot my own horn. What might separate me from other artists.
Now talk it, bro.
I don't care if you listen tomorrow or next Tuesday. I don't care if you listen next Tuesday or next August. I just want you at some point to hear my music so that I know how it emotionally affected you. I don't care when it is.
Yeah.
If my album does amazing the day it comes out, obviously I'm happy. I'm not going to sit here in front like I don't care.
Yeah. It's still,
But
still a
like
big
when
deal.
someone's like, yo, I heard your album the day it came out, or they're like, yo, I didn't hear it till Sunday. I'm never like, you bastard.
Yeah, you're not a
How
real
dare
fan.
you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, because like I know there's a ton of stuff coming out. So, like, I'm going to get probably a little overshadowed a little bit. But in the end of the day, I got a good album coming and people are going to like it.
Yeah, and dude, one thing I gotta tell you, dog, you are great at social media. You post shit every day, bro. Like, where did you learn this from to go about it this way? Because like, so many artists, dude, like they pretend like they don't care about their own music. It's like you gotta push that yourself. Like,
You got to push it.
Yeah, what made you be that way and decide to take it that route? Because I don't see so many artists doing it like you, bro. Like, you're good. You're good with that.
Advice from others and being really annoying towards myself to do it, because like I'll be in the middle of so much shit, but when it's between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, I don't care if I'm driving, I need to pull over real quick and make a post. Like, it's annoying, but like it takes
Right
3-4 minutes.
That right there, y'all. That right there is the dedication. Like,
It's annoying, but do it. It'll take you less than 5 minutes. And the quicker you're trying to do it, the more times you're going to misspell hip hop on your hashtag and have to go back. Because I do hop 1,000 times trying to do hip hop. It's always hop. I'm like, fuck. And then I got to go back when I should have just slowed down a little bit. But it takes 3-4 minutes. Know what you're going to post ahead of time, which I'm preaching and I don't follow all the time. But like, it is good advice. Know what you're going to post the night before, or even just a couple hours ahead of time. So you're not like scrambling to make a post. I do it all the time though. So, but I know it's good advice. Trust me on that one. Cause I don't like how I scramble. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's just making yourself do it. Even if you're busy. I mean, like I've missed it. You know what I mean? There are days where I'm like, shit, I didn't post today because life happens. But like, if you can make it work, just make it work.
Yeah, for sure. And how do you find ways to do the everyday thing without, I say, overexposing yourself? Because I do think that's a real thing to overshow what you are. Is there a way you have going about this? Is there certain strategies that maybe you can share to artists who are listening?
My opinion, and this is different for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. This is not a right. There's no right or wrong to this, but I've heard things, and I would love to hear what you have to say on that.
Just don't be stupid. You know, like,
like don't use the same picture 5 times in a row.
Don't use the same picture. Don't post things that you know are going to piss people off. Because, like, look, I know everyone says they love controversy, but we're in a cancel culture right now, people. And people coming for you. They're looking for you. They're looking for that one post. And you can post it now and it'll be fine. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to find that 3 years down the line when you explode and you're making all that money and you're in the dream house and you're driving the dream car. They'll be like, remember that Instagram post you said 3 years ago? Yeah. Remember how you said in the caption, I don't give a fuck who knows that I did A, B, C, D. Well, now you did because you just lost the house. So I bet you care. So
yeah.
Don't be stupid. If you want to be funny, be funny. But don't post something that you know 95% of the world is going to be mad that you posted. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to sit back, think about it, pre-plan, just really evaluate.
Show photos. Save all the photos, even the ones you think you won't use, because one day you're going to be out of photos and be like, I'm glad I saved that weird picture of me in the back going, oh, because I just thought of a funny caption for it.
Yeah, and I think one thing about you, man, I realize like you're not so serious. Like, I think artists are too serious, bro. Like a lot of times it's like, yo, man, have some fun, like have some joke on yourself a little. Like,
I became a rapper to not be a businessman, so I don't know why we all trying to act like businessmen all the time. I'm an artist, so.
Yeah. Too many artists put up this front and like it's like I gotta have the chains out and look serious and you know what I mean and serious caption and it's like sometimes you also have to show you not doing music, just doing
nothing wrong with being humble.
Don't even get me started on the humble and cocky talk, dude. I see too many rappers who post cocky shit every day, and it just drives me crazy.
In hip hop, I let peer pressure get to me one time, and I talked hella shit in an interview, and immediately wish I hadn't.
Yeah.
Immediately, I was like, why did I just do that? Because I was at this like thing, and they were like, like, yo, how do you feel about the other artists? And I have other people staring at me and this, that, and the third. I'm like, I'm better than everybody. I'm the best rapper ever, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember the second that we were done interviewing, I went, that was the phoniest shit I've ever said.
Like, I feel gross. Like,
I'm like, I don't think I'm the best rapper that's ever been. I don't even think I'm top 100.
Yeah.
I think I'm a good rapper who makes good music, and I'm not sitting here pretending to be the next Biggie.
Yeah, straight up, man. You know,
I got a message.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one thing, like, if you're just trying to, like, if you're confident in yourself, you believe in yourself, and you need to do something to push that. But there's another thing where you're just putting it on wax out there, telling people, I'm the greatest rapper to come out of Boston. I'm the greatest this. I'm the greatest that. It's like, yo, pump the brakes. Like,
what you done to prove that, though?
Exactly. Like you know, the greatest don't say they're the greatest until like everyone else said it for them, and then they will probably end up saying it. Like, like it took Kendrick all this time to say, "I am not your savior." Like, it took Lil Wayne a billion tapes to go, "I'm the greatest rapper alive." Like, shut up. You're not the greatest. Like, just do your thing. Actions speak louder than words, and I think like you clearly have that like put together. But we all have to go through it. I mean, it's rap's competitive as hell, yo.
It is. And I think that's one of the things I have to offer is that I don't have that competitive nature, but I have the competitive drive.
Yeah.
So always working, but I'm not here to cut other people's throats to do it.
Yeah, bro. Nah, seriously, man. And I definitely think that's just the right way to go about this stuff. Like, you gotta have friends in this game. So if you're putting up that competitive defense mechanism, you're not gonna make friends. Like, I've definitely met rappers where I'm like, yo, man, like let down your guard, dog. Like, I've definitely met them.
I met him, and I remember in my head just being like, chill. Like, like I said, hi, not your social security number. Like, take a breath. Like,
yeah, dude. Like, holy crap, man. Like, just I don't get it. I've never understood it, and I've been doing this for a while now. I just never understood it. Like, I get it. Be confident in yourself, but don't take it to a point where you can't even socialize with other artists. Like, you need to be social with these other people, man. Like, you never know who you're gonna meet. Like, like, I just never understood it, man. But yo, Demons, we're getting up on the time right here, dog. This has been a really dope conversation, and I really wish we could have, we could keep it going, but I like to keep the podcast under a certain time. It's just how TempahZone does things around here, man. But I definitely want to ask you one more question before we get out of here. I know we said a lot of great advice for the people out here. You definitely enlightening people on this episode, dog. But is there anything you'd want to mention to artists starting out? Any good advice that you'd give them? It's a question I ask every artist on the podcast before we wrap it up. So what would you have to say that maybe might stand out to the artists who are just getting their feet on the ground?
Don't be afraid to be new. Don't be afraid to be the new guy, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Because I did not understand anything about anything at first, and I fronted and acted like I did, and it was a setback for me. Huge setback. When you're recording, you need to know proper recording etiquette, how to stand with the mic, how to hold your breath, and all that good stuff. Same thing with performing, same thing with other artists. I didn't know what a bar was at first.
It's real shit.
I heard the term. I knew it had something to do with where the rhymes went, but I didn't know, you know what I mean? And just don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to be new. And don't be afraid to try new things. What's the worst that happens? What, people laugh at you? Then those were not the people for you. I'll tell you that much.
Character. That builds character. When you make a mistake, dog, you push through that. Like,
I rapped to a whole crowd of people that didn't listen to a damn thing that I had to say, and it was one of the best performances I did. And that's not a loss. It is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love performing for a bunch of people that don't know anything about me. It's great. So, it's just like, I'm gonna prove to y'all I'm nice. Yeah.
I'll find one of you to be a fan.
Hey, man. One loyal fan is better than 100 bots. What? So, yeah.
Yeah. Bots won't buy your merch.
Bots will not buy your merch, y'all. Oh, that's great. Demon's Disciple, thank you very much for being on this episode of TempahZone Podcast. What do you got to plug for the people? I know there's some other obvious stuff you want to plug for the people, but what do you got to plug, man, before you wrap this up?
Not going to say.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, have you been listening, y'all? I Just Want to Be Seen drops tonight at midnight, September 30th. Stream that on all streaming platforms. I'll do it for you, man. Let the people know, y'all. Demons, thank you very much for being on the show. I really appreciate your time, man.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure as always, Amir. You're a good man.
For sure, I appreciate it, y'all. That's the episode. Make sure y'all tune in next week for another one, all right? Peace out.
Peace.